DC here. Hi guys. Well, let's see. Today's vlog, I think I'll call it Milestones, Smilestones, and Tombstones. Well, one of the reasons for calling it Milestones actually is that, well, on the 31st of May 1985, Mrs. DC and myself, we left Canada, Quebec, for Europe. Now, you know, we were 25 years younger then, and we didn't realize that we were going to be leaving, and I wouldn't say never coming back, but not coming back. You never know what the future lies. But one thing for sure is that when you leave, like we did, and finally have the children in a country, and you know, go through all those motions that make it special, there's a whole load of milestones that come along. I mean, learning new languages, learning you know, how to react in new cultures, and so on. And the fact is that learning as well who you are, learning to be yourself. There's different milestones in our life, isn't there? I mean, there's becoming, you know, a couple, becoming parents, becoming grandparents, which isn't our case yet, and there's a whole lot of things, you know, milestones. And it's nice to have milestones in your life, actually, because, you know, that kind of puts points in your life which you can go back and remember. It's really nice, actually, at times, especially if you have pictorial milestones. I mean, be it pictures or films or something, which you can go back later on and say, oh yeah, that's the way it was. It's also good for lessons learned at times. You know, sometimes you don't always want to remember those milestones, and nevertheless you should. Okay, so, you know, that's one of the things. Smilestones. What about the Smilestones? Well, I think it goes in the same direction, is that I think there are moments in our life which are just there to make us smile. Sometimes they don't make us smile at all when it happens. And then later on you say, well, you know, depending on your beliefs, you might say, God had something in his plan for me, and he was playing some divine joke, but I didn't find funny at all at the time. Or it might be something, you know, like one of those really, really great souvenirs. You know, what could I say? I mean, you know, something like, you know, a child's first walk. I've got a Smilestone, yeah. I came back from a trip once, and a business trip, and I was really quite tired. And I walked in, and my second son, he was walking along. I mean, he was toddling or whatever. I mean, anyway, I mean, he was walking. But he had not, when I left, and not been potty trained in that respect. And so I walked in, and I really needed to go to the bathroom. So I walked in and stood in front of that toilet, and this little guy runs along and stands right quickly in front of me, and he pees in front of me and it was just like, he was like so proud. He ran in front and showed me, hey Dad, I can do it now, and I can do it standing up. I was laughing about that Smilestone. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you all have Smilestones. You maybe put some in the comments. And why I said Tombstones. Tombstones is talking about Memorial Day, which is coming up for you guys in the States. You know, in America, just quickly check the time, okay. In America, in Europe, and often in Canada actually, sometimes, you know, Americans get pretty bad press. And sometimes it's deserved, and sometimes it's not. But where I would like, I'm not going to talk about the undeserved stuff today. I want to talk about, you know, sorry, I got to get that around. I want to talk about when people should be thankful. Yeah, I don't remember how my sentence structure went, so I got to be careful here. What I want is to say, you know, sometimes we got to be grateful. And Memorial Day is one of those times when one should think about being grateful. Never mind what you think about certain wars or so on. think about the people, think about the families, and think about certain freedoms. Like I say, don't get into details, but there are different wars which it was very necessary. And I mean, here in Europe, I think one thing is that if you start scratching, you will see that people do realize, especially in the Second World War, if it had not been for our American soldiers, and I say our American soldiers because in that respect, even if I'm not an American, it's our American soldiers that came and liberated a lot of parts of the world. And that is something that one should not forget. One should be grateful, and one should be, I would say, prayerful in this respect, because I wouldn't be standing here if that had not happened, and we would not probably be in the same type of regime. I don't know what we'd be doing. Maybe we wouldn't even be there because it wouldn't have been worth having a family, having children, if evil regimes, especially I'm thinking about the Second World War, had taken over. So these are tombstones, but tombstones of glory in this respect. So that's my little bit for Memorial Day. So think about it, milestones, Smilestones, and tombstones. Okay, that'll be DC signing off for this Sunday vlog, and take care, guys. Love y'all.